You know that girl from the Brady Bunch? You know, the Marshall one? Yeah, that's me. I mean, it's not that I'm jealous of my sister. It's just that I go out of my way to wake up early for her so I can take her to school and drop her off so she can see her friends. And me, well, okay, I'm jealous. But it's cool, it's normal. It's okay to be jealous of your 13-year-old sister. When it comes to me and my sister, I'm pretty protective of her, and with good reason. She looks older than 13. I would say 16. And that age, the boys, they're horny bastards. So, if I see some kid approach her, I would do what any big brother would do, and I'd beat the shit out of one of them. Black eyes, bloody nose, broken kneecaps, the whole 9 yards. I don't really mind doing it. Maggie, on the other hand, she hates it. But she's my sister. I gotta protect her. It's funny. I remember the day she got caught skipping school. I did that once. And my ass was on lockdown for a good 3 months. And Maggie never gets in trouble. She's always looked as the princess. And me, I'm not. Not that I want to be a princess or anything. Anyway, she ended up getting off easy at school an afternoon of detention. But the hard part was telling her parents. They would look at you and just stare. Silence. I mean, I'd rather be bombarded with screaming. Do you know what the silent stare is like? It's awkward, yeah. And Maggie didn't want to go through that, so I get a call from Maggie on the way to basketball practice saying that she's in a whole lot of trouble and she really, really needs my help. Maggie never needs my help, so I'm here thinking, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, she's in prison, she's dying, oh no, something's wrong. And then she tells me she got caught skipping. So I picked her up. When I got there, she started to cry. It wasn't that often that I see my sister cry in front of me because she always puts up that tough guy act. But when she did, it made me realize she was still a little girl. Ben, I'm so sorry. I won't do it again. Ben, please don't tell mom and dad. Ben, please. Phew. Good thing I didn't overreact. Now, here it is, weeks before graduation, and I'm pumped. A few weeks back, we were told that there would be an assembly for all the seniors, one final time to be together before we left. The assembly was at 4, and Maggie needed to get picked up at 4:45. Clearly, that wasn't going to happen. So, on the day of the assembly, Maggie reminded me that Sarah's mom was taking her home and begged me not to check up on her. And though I didn't really like the idea, I thought, hey, what the hell? So, after the assembly, I got in my car, but it seemed like out of nowhere, I started to feel sick. I figured the pain was either the tacos that I ate for lunch in the cafeteria, which pretty likely, or the nerves about graduating. I sat there a minute and just waited until the pain went away. Then, when I left, I drove by Maggie's school, which was on the way home. When I looked over in the parking lot, I saw a couple of ambulances with a crowd of people gathered around them there. And I thought, damn, I bet they serve those tacos at Maggie's school. Okay, let me tell you something. If there's one thing that I'm looking forward to about college, it's not having to eat that crap they serve you in the cafeteria. 3 weeks ago, the chess team had the end of the year banquet catered by the lunch ladies, and the chess team is the pride and joy of our school. And that's mainly because our football team sucks. And well, the rest of our teams are practically non existent. But that's beside the point. The lunch ladies managed to practically poison the entire chess team just before nationals. The culprit? Bad lettuce. Lettuce? Seriously? Who gets sick from lettuce? And you know what? Based on that story, I knew whatever happened at Maggie's school couldn't be that bad. When I got home, I heard my parents in the kitchen. By the way things sounded, it seemed like they'd gotten to yet another argument. I could hear my mom squealing and stitching, is what I like to call it, which is a combo of crying, screaming, yelling, and bitching. Mostly a lot of bitching. Now, I usually leave them alone, but well, I am nosy, and when I walked in, I knew something was going on. And then I see the blood just drain out of my mother's face. She looked at me, then looked at my father, and then tears started pouring out of her eyes. What the hell is going on? What's the problem? Then my father started to cry. They said that my sister died about 25 minutes after the accident. Apparently, the father of some girl lost control of his car and here I am joking about cafeteria food and she can't even breathe. And I couldn't do anything about it. I went back to school about a week later, and when I walked to lunch that day, a man who I thought was Maggie's principal came up to me. He introduced himself and told me he was sorry about what had happened. He said something about his grief group meeting for the eighth grade the next day. He told me that over the past 4 days, all of Maggie's friends and teachers had signed her yearbook, and that he wanted me to read a few things from it. I mean, do I do it? Do I not do it? And then he said, "Look, Ben, I know it's short notice, but we'd really like you here." As I walked into the auditorium the next day, I started to reconsider reading Maggie's yearbook, but after being introduced by Mr. McGee, I looked into the crowd of about 200 or so and thought, here we go. Max, you are my best friend, now and always. I will never forget your smile. I miss you so much, and I just want to tell you that I love you. Your best friend, Sarah. I thought back to when Maggie got stuck in the raft at the water park, and even though my parents were right next to her, she called out for me. About an hour had passed, and there were only a few more signings for me to read. And after I finished reading the last one, I sat there for a minute and just looked out at these people. I thought about saying something, but I got choked up. When I regained my composure, I looked back up and said, "Thank you all for coming here today. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to Maggie. Thank you for writing these amazing things in my sister's yearbook. But most of all, thank you for making me feel like Maggie's big brother again."